Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Lead Up for Women, Speak Up to Lead Up. We are now on episode 131, and today's episode is brought to you by Hello World. Are you frustrated with your kids? Do you constantly worry about them? Or maybe you're just sick and tired of dealing with misbehavior in your home. I remember those days. Well, have no fear, no problem. Parenting is here to help you turn any emotional or behavior problem into a no problem while strengthening your relationship with your kids at the same time. You don't have to be the bad guy to get your kids to behave. Join the No Problem Parenting community where you will find down-to-earth, practical, fun, no nonsense, and even backwards tips and ideas for how to deal with and overcome any parenting challenge. Go to noproblimparenting.com and get started now. Become the confident leader your kids crave you to be. So thank you to Hello World for that. And ladies, welcome to the show. I have two amazing ladies with me here today. And of course, we want to invite all of you to go out to leadupforwomen.com, where you'll find all the latest information on our events that we hold every single week. We have a new magazine that's coming out in a few days that's going to have a collage of women on the front. So we invite you to head to Lead Up for Women, come to one of our events, get to meet the women in our community, and of course, follow us on social media at leadupforwomen.com. So first of all, today, I'd like to introduce the beautiful Trina L. Martin. And this is a real treat today because we are going to be talking all about releasing limiting beliefs to create the life you deserve, right? That life that you deserve that's waiting for you out there. And Trina is an author, speaker, technologist, and podcaster. She uses her experience to motivate audiences to overcome adversity, develop self-determination and discipline. Trina also inspires emerging leaders to pursue their wildest dreams with heart and grit. Yes, I love that. As an accomplished IT professional and retired U.S. Navy officer with 30 years of service. Thank you for your service, Trina. She's broken barriers and made strides in her career that many said weren't possible. Trina, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Colleen, for having me.
Okay, I got to know, what are some of these barriers that you broke through that people thought weren't possible?
Just limiting beliefs that are in your own head. And my story, I come from a mother who was very verbally abusive to me. So all my life, I heard her saying how I was lazy, how I was ugly, things like that. And, you wouldn't believe it, but those things stemmed over into my adulthood. And those things kept popping up in my mind. And I had to work past those things to say, okay, yes, I can do this. I am not where I started, and I'm not who someone else says I am, but I am who God says I am and who I put forth my effort to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for sharing that because, so many women walk around today with limiting beliefs. And here's the thing, it really never ends. Because whatever level you get at, you could be sky high and feeling great. And maybe you just got 3 more clients or wrote another book and it became a #1 bestseller. And the very next day, boom, you wake up and all of a sudden you don't feel as confident that day that you felt the day before, or something bad happened or things went wrong and you were challenged and stretched. And talk to me a little bit about these steps, because you wrote a book, right? And the book that you wrote is From a Mess to Amazing. I love that. From a mess to, we're all a mess at some point, but we're all amazing. We need to remember that. So you wrote that and you said there's 7 steps in there. So walk us through a little bit of those pieces.
Yes, I wrote the book because of my personal life and what I were going through. So how I came out of my limiting beliefs and things that I struggle with is my first step is to change your mindset. And we all know that until you really get it in your mind, it's not going to happen. We say things on the surface and our mouths say things, but do you really believe it? So changing your mindset, evaluating yourself. That's something that's very difficult for everyone. I don't care who you are. I mean, because confronting yourself it's difficult because we all think, okay, we're fine, we're okay, we don't have any issues. But if you're really honest with yourself and you look within, you'll find that you need to work on some things. Um, Three is set goals, and we all know how that goes. You have to set goals and intentions for what you want to do. My next step is invest in personal development. A lot of times we don't do that. We don't think that investing in ourselves is something that is normally taught. You know, we go to school, we do all these things to get to another place, like in our career, but really invest in yourself and do the things that you want to do that will help you achieve your goals.
Mm.
Um, Build relationships. That's something that I had to really work at because when you have limited beliefs, you think that, oh my God, no one will help me. I'm in this by myself. But what I found out in my life is when you actually talk to people, a lot of people do want to help you and they will sincerely reach out. If you say, you know what, I have this dream or this is what I'm going for. A lot of times, if they can help you, they will, or they will refer you to someone who can help you. So that was very important that I found in my life. And then after you're building those relationships, you need to realize that you're perfectly imperfect. No one is perfect. We want to be, we think we are, but you're not. And you got to be okay with that. And then the final step is just commit to the change. All those other steps that you have worked to build and go through, commit to actually seeing them through. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Actually put in the work. So those are the things that I have to do every day with myself to get to the things that I want to do and overcome my limiting beliefs.
Yeah, those steps are incredible. They're exactly what the listeners can do to get started. And of course, I want them to snag a copy of your book. But let's roll this back a little bit and talk to me about and our listeners about when you first developed and figured, well, when you first realized that you had limiting beliefs that were holding you back. What was there a big shift in your life or something that happened? Talk us through so we can get to know Trina a little better.
You know, that is a great question. About 10 years ago, I hit rock bottom. And when I say rock bottom, it means that on the outside, I was this perfect person. You know, I had the naval career, I was just phenomenal on paper if you read my resume. But then when I came home, I was going, you know, I feel like a failure as a mother. This is not working right. That's, you know, my love life wasn't going right. And I just was really beating up on myself. Those things that I heard as a child started to come back on me. And I started believing, well, no one wants me. I'll never find love. No one wants me. Um, I'm so stupid. How can I be so stupid for making this mistake or doing this? And it seemed like I just started spiraling down. And that's when I decided, you know what? I have to get past this. I have to work because there's something that is wrong that I need to get past because I am not this bad person. I'm a human. We make mistakes. And what I found out in my journey is one of the biggest things is to forgive yourself. We say things to ourselves and we beat ourselves up and we do things that we would never do to someone else. So you have to forgive yourself. And that was one of my big things. Okay, yeah, you made a mistake here, or you made a mistake in a relationship by choosing somebody you shouldn't have chosen. But forgive yourself, release that, and keep moving forward because you are worthy. You are worthy for greatness. You're worthy for abundance. You're worthy for love. And just releasing those things that keep telling you that you're not is what I had to do and what I encourage everyone to do.
Yeah, I love that message. It's, telling us that we're a work in progress always. And the faster that we understand that, the faster that we commit to that, the faster that we understand that we can make those changes in our lives and become a better person. And we deserve a much better life than the one that we're living today because we are the only ones holding ourselves back. There's not someone else there holding you back. I mean, that's just such a beautiful message, Trina. So tell us some of the changes and the wins that you've had in your life by implementing these 7 steps. How has it changed your life?
You know, it has really centered me. I've gotten into back into church and praying. I sought therapy. And when I feel that I'm becoming overwhelmed, I actually take time for myself. And that was a thing that was very hard for me because I was a type A person, very driven, well, still am. But we are always on the go. And that's how I felt. I was like, okay, every minute of the day, I had something blocked to do. And I learned that it's okay to not do those things. It's okay to say, you know what? I'm not doing that today. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to work on me. Whether that's, I like to just relax, take a hot bath, journal a little bit, pray. And if it's just nothing but you just sitting and being quiet and still with yourself, that is something that you deserve, you're worthy of. And that's how I work through the things and the trials and things that come that may overwhelm me or get me agitated. I just take that time to pull back. Whereas before I thought I had to be doing something every moment of the day. And now that my children are older, they understand. I tell them, hey, you know what? This is my time. This is mommy's time. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to relax and don't disturb me. And, they're fine with that.
Well, tell us about your family, Trina.
I have two teenagers. I have a son and a daughter. My daughter's the eldest, and they're both phenomenal. My daughter is an artist. She draws, she does photography. She's going to be going to college next year. And my son, he's a gamer, of course, and he plays football. But being a single mother, it's been challenging at times, but they're at the point now where I just look at them and they make me laugh, they make me happy, and just seeing how they're evolving as the people that they are is amazing. And it's amazing that I can look at them and I can pour into them so that they don't go into life like I did with limiting beliefs or thinking that they weren't worthy or that they're less than. So it's really amazing. They're my everything.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I truly believe that we model for people more than they listen to our words. So what you do is such a bigger impact on others. And the more that you're modeling and giving your children the permission to show up authentically as themselves, that's going to change the future of how, your daughter and how your son react and impact the world. We just have to realize if we're trying to do it with our words, but we're not doing it with our actions, they're watching us. And what a beautiful gift that you're giving your children to model that. Every morning I get up and my husband and I walk a couple of miles early in the morning. And then, we live in Arizona, so it's beautiful here, all time of year. And then I always sit down and do gratitudes every morning. And I write out, a page full of gratitudes. And then I read mindset books, personal development books, books that, depending upon what I'm focused on, if I'm really focused on building wealth, I'm going to read books that are all about building wealth. And so it's going to put me in the right mindset of money. If it's building relationships or the power within for me as a female, then I read those books. And so I circulate between several books at a time. I run a book club, and Lead Up for Women. And I do that because I know that we all need personal development, and your business and your relationships and your career can only grow to the extent your wealth can only grow to the extent that you do. So what are some things that you do, Trina, as well, to help you with that growth in your life, other than, some of the things you just mentioned?
Well, similar to you, I read a lot. So I'm reading or listening to podcasts. I also have a coach. So I have a coach for my speaking and for my training, but I'm always looking for personal development. It's so important because once you stop that or think that you know everything is when you become stagnant.
Yeah.
So so I am just a proponent of just personal development and learning. And it's funny because when you were saying it, I was kind of laughing within because I've, circulate between a few books at a time. So just like you, if I'm looking for business or wealth or just my spiritual within, that's what I do. But those are the things that I really try to do to keep my mind going and keep my personal development going.
And does it work for you?
It really does because in the books in particular, because there are people that you look at and that you follow. And I love to know how they do it. And I love it when they're authentic because unlike what we see today in the Instagram world, people didn't just get there overnight. There's very little people who have become overnight success. We want to think that, but they've gone through some things. And I love hearing what people have gone through to get to where they are, because for me, that lets me know that, you know what, I can do that too. It's very possible. And a lot of people think that they live in scarcity. They think, well, because they do it, I can't do it, or there's not enough in the world. There's plenty in the world. No one is going to take your thunder or your portion of your blessing or your abundance. So I really, really love hearing others people's journeys, because that just strengthens me to know that, yeah, sometimes I may feel like, oh my goodness, I'm crashing and burning. This is not working correctly. But it makes me continue to get up and keep going, because I know it is possible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you have this in Australia, Alexis, but 31 Flavors and Dairy Queen both sell ice cream. Do you think that one of them said, oh, we shouldn't start an ice cream business because there's already someone that sells ice cream? No, but I hear that a lot from women where they say, well, there's so many coaches. I couldn't possibly be a coach. And I said, well, there's never going to be a coach like you, because they don't have your wisdom, your experience, your knowledge. They haven't been through the world, your challenges that you've had. You are very unique, and that is leaving that impression is about you just showing up, and done is better than perfect, right? You got to show up as yourself. Authenticity is the key. And the more you really decide and understand to bring that out and share that with the world, you'll be so much more happier and successful.
Oh,
Yeah, in
absolutely.
your life for sure. So, Trina, tell us, how can people reach you? What do you have for our listeners today? How can they get a copy of your book?
Well, if you go to my website, trinalmartin.com, you can find the book there, how you can purchase it. There's a link. And also, if you purchase the book, you can download the free workbook, the companion workbook that I designed to go with it. Because in the book, I give you steps and I tell you to journal. So here's something that you can use to actually journal. But you can contact me through my website or email me directly at trinalmartin.com.
Thank you, Trina. And we'll have all of those links for you right there at your fingertips. And if you're watching this on our Facebook page, you can find us at Lead Up for Women on Facebook. There's a video so you can see these beautiful ladies this morning. And it will also be available for you there. And again, the name of her book is From a Mess to Amazing, 7 Steps to Create the Life You Deserve. So, Trina, thank you again for being with us. Those were really key steps that women can take today. And remember, it's practice every day. You don't show up at the NFL and say, I want to be the quarterback for this team. You've practiced for years and, weeks and centuries and to get out there to be, on an NFL team. So I say that because it takes practice. So you have to be willing to put in the work and practice. And not let your gremlins take over your mind. And since we're talking about gremlins and transforming and creating new versions of ourselves, Alexis Jane, let's talk to you at 4:30 in the morning in Sydney, Australia. So, all right, girlfriend, I know you work with women, helping them really get to that next level of themselves, and they're doing a lot of deeper inner work. So your clients are shifting to a new identity as they let go of past limiting beliefs that don't serve them. And I know you're just like I am, you're just like Trina is. Nothing excites us more than to see a female really realize that for herself and come into her own. So, what is that like for you working with clients?
Oh, it's so magical, and it's so perfect today because one of my clients is going through this exact moment right now, and it's creating that belief within inside of them that they can't see just yet, and walking next to them, and within a span of a week or two, everything shifts and changes for them, and they get to that uneasy moment because parts of them are breaking away as they're shining a light on who they are. And I've resonated with everything that both of you have said, and one of the things that I'm really tuning into at the moment, it's not who you are, it's who you believe that you are not, is one thing that keeps coming through. So right now you are amazing, but it's who you think you're not that's keeping you stuck from moving forward into that next level version of yourself. So really just peeling that back and what that looks like. And really gaining clarity on who they are, because each and every woman that I work with has so much knowledge, has so much information, that it's so overwhelming that they think they have nothing because they have too much. So it's stripping it all back to making it really super simple, and doing the daily activities, and doing the morning routine, doing the journaling, setting the intention for the day, doing the gratitude, and shining a light on all the limiting beliefs that are flowing through into their experience. So I teach my clients, instead of going, well, I need to think positively, okay, well, what's all the stuff? Let's bring it all to the surface. What is it? Let's write it all down. Let's shine a light on it, because when we shine a light on something, it disappears. And I really, this really shone through for me. One night I was in bed and I'd woken up, and I looked at my looked at my blind, and I thought that there was a man standing outside my blind. And what it turned out to be was a shadow, and there was a light shining on my bedpost. But I'd created a story in my head, and I thought it, like, I was shaking. I thought it was so real that there was someone outside. The blinds are that thick that you couldn't see anyone outside, even if you tried to. But I'd created a story, and I couldn't go to, I was struggling to go back to sleep. And this is what we do in life. We create stories that actually don't exist. So writing a list of all of the things and looking at it and going, well, okay, just for the next few hours, it's going to draw a line and go, I choose to believe the opposite, and then write down all of the opposite beliefs around whatever that situation is. And it's been game changing.
That's brilliant. It really is, because it works. And it's just like goals, right? You got to get them on paper. It's about writing things down and getting them on paper. But Alexis, I know you haven't always done this in your life. So get us a little juicy nuggets about Alexis Jane, and tell us a little bit about you and what your journey's been like to come to this place, because you had to go through some of this work and deep discovery to get here.
Yes, I did. So I grew up in a family of 4 girls. So I'm one of 4, and very, very competitive. And hospitality, personal training, real estate were my 3 core things that I did growing up. I worked in all 3 areas all at the one time. And then I found a man, got married, fell pregnant. And what I didn't realize was I went through postnatal depression, and I ended up leaving my husband. And that's when this all started to really unfold, is when our relationship started to break down. I'm really lucky. We have a beautiful relationship now. But what happened was I went into deeper depression, and I went and saw psychologists. I saw psychiatrists. I saw counselors. I went on antidepressants. I went on anti-anxiety, because I wasn't sleeping. There was all of this stuff that was happening, and the people in my world weren't as supportive as I would have liked. But they also had never been through someone who'd had deep depression like I had, like I was in that moment. And I remember sitting in this exact room, just looking up, going, help, I need some help. Show me something. And I opened up my computer and I found this free 60-minute life coaching call. And that was the moment that my life really changed. And and it's the moment that I really understood, now looking back. At the time I didn't, the whole way that the sales process works, the whole way that coming in with a lead magnet at the front. So going back and looking at my process of how I flowed through into it, because I didn't actually really know. So I went from a 60-minute phone call to a 2-day event. At the 2-day event, I was sold into a 7-day event. From the 7-day event, they asked me to come and work for the company because they loved my energy and they saw the transformation that was occurring. And over that time, at that moment, I was still going, like I felt like I was in an incubator. I still was going through some really hard challenges. And just before I found the life coaching, my appendix almost burst, had to go into hospital. I got told that I may have bowel cancer, not once, but twice. Like I was so skinny through stress and not knowing who I was. And then that's another thing that really connected me to that. Our emotions are really connected to disease. Mm-hmm. And I was internaling, and I still now, I don't have my appendix, but if I get really stressed and I'm not shining a light on it, I'll get pain where my appendix were. Like, ooh, there's something that I'm not shining a light on. There's something that I need to just sit and be with myself and really go within and go, what is actually going on for you right now? And that's been a game changer, really tuning into my body with things that are going on and going, oh, what's going on for me right now? What's this? So if I know that my digestion's not going right, like, oh, what am I not digesting emotionally right now?
Yeah. It's interesting because we do harbor a lot of energy in our bodies. And I was just watching a documentary about this not too long ago, and it seems like these conversations are coming up everywhere. And that documentary is called Heal. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's really all about how the power of the mind heals the body. And I agree with you. We need to check in with our body on a regular basis to see, why that's occurring. I had a client that actually, I had asked her to commit to sign up for a run, whether it was a mile run or a half-mile run. She needed to cross a physical finish line. I needed her to cross a finish line. And so when she signed up for this run, miraculously, 4 days later, she injures her toe while moving stuff at her house and can't do the run. I'll just leave that for the listeners. Did that happen on purpose? Why all of a sudden now did she get injured and can't do the run? And it's just amazing how self-limiting beliefs turn into physical damages, physical ailments within our body and our mind, and it poisons everything. And Alexis, so I loved your story about what you've been through and what you've overcome. And you talked a little bit about how you work with your clients through that. Share with us a victory story of someone that you remember that just was like, wow, this was just a moment in working with someone that I just felt like, now I know I'm meant to do this because I'm impacting, just like you were impacted by that 1 60-minute call that changed your life. I'm glad you said that, because so many women out there, I want to say this very sternly to all of you. There's someone praying for you right now that you decide to show up. They're just waiting for you because they need what you offer, not what someone else offers. They need what you offer. And when was it in that moment, Alexis, and working with someone that you realized this is what I need to be doing?
So when I came out of the 7-day program, I was like, what are the things that, like, I moved and shifted so fast from having a forward focus, whereas before in the counseling and psychology, it was like, let's talk about the problem, let's really unpick it, and I was like, I don't want to keep talking about it. I want to move forward. Like, how do I do that, even though it was still scary? So when I came out of all of that, I went and studied life coaching, kinesiology, hypnosis, timeline, all of the things. And I really want to help women create confidence for themselves and really speak their truth from within. And then I found a coach to work with, and I said, I want your skills, like, teach me how to use your skills. So we created a 6-week program. I charged $260 for a 6-week program, one-on-one, working with me. I always giggle about it because I gave a lot, like, they spoke to me every single day, plus they had a 1 60-minute phone call with me.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it was, my limiting belief was I couldn't charge more than that because I didn't believe that I could get paid for something that I did naturally.
That's true. And you never would have signed up a person if you would have charged more money for that.
Yeah.
Right.
So on my journey, obviously, I've increased my prices along the way. And I remember this one woman came to me, and she was one of the mums at school, and she had all of this stuff going on. I could just resonate and I could feel her pain. It had nothing to do with business. It was about her really speaking her truth. And she'd been in an abusive relationship, and just really helping her shift and becoming really confident to then break up from that relationship, but in a really loving way. It wasn't, I hate you. It wasn't all of these names. It was, this is my truth, and this is the life that I'm now choosing to live for myself. And us being together is not going to do that. And that's where the power is. And that's what I really truly teach my clients, is to come back into self. And I've got a client that I'm working with at the moment that started with me in January, and she won a free 30-day incubator with me. And it was intense and it was full on, but I say, like, I helped her in her marriage, and I helped her really understand that there was a projection going on. There was a lot of blame game. There was a lot of projection happening. And it was like, okay, let's just take responsibility for the part that you've played in this. Like, every decision that you've made leading up to until right now is allowed you to get to this point. And I only ever talk from my truth and where I've been and what I've been through. And I went and looked at all of my relationships, and I was like, they're all emotionally unavailable. Ooh, hang on a moment. I'm being emotionally unavailable to myself. Until I really took that responsibility and fully owned that part of me, all of my relationships started to shift and change. And that's what I thought to help my clients really understand is, I understand that someone's hurt you, but we can't continue to blame them for where you are right now.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, what was the common denominator between those two marriages that didn't work out? Oh, that was me. And then I looked in the mirror, and it was like, at the time I was blaming everything else. And then when I finally decided, yeah, you've got to change this, who you are, and be emotionally available, be open, be available to even be loved as deep as you want to be loved, because you can't even love that deep if you're not willing to be loved that deep. So it was a disservice that I was doing to them, me, and everyone around me. And when I decided to make that shift, I got married very shortly after that, which is crazy because I didn't even like men then. And we've been married for 15 years. You know, we have 7 kids that we combined. We have 11 grandkids. We have this great life. It's the easiest relationship I've ever had in my life. We actually like to hang out together. And these shifts can happen too in your lives. For all of you listening, if you just commit to the change, like Trina said, commit to the change. So Alexis, I want to ask you one last question. What is something the listeners can do today? Like one thing, what should they do? What is the one thing they can do right now? Besides, they're going to sign up to call you and schedule a call with you for sure. Because we have ladies listening in all different countries. It's not just here in the United States. So they'll be on your time as well. If one phone call can change Alexis Jane's life, then one phone call can also change your life. Remember that, right? This isn't about sales. It's about someone truly trying to deep dive and help you. And then you decide at that point, is this going to work for me or is this not going to work for me? And then that's it, right? So tell me, Alexis, what's one thing?
One thing that you can do right now, and this is what I actually created a program around this so that my clients would commit to it, and I commit to it, and I love it. And it's like I wake up with my best friends every single morning. Committing to journaling, committing to putting a timer on for 10 minutes and doing a brain dump, getting all of the noise out of your head. Just put the timer on and just free write. Just allow anything to flow through. Say, Alexis Jane told me to write, anything. It doesn't need to make any sense whatsoever. And then ask yourself a conscious question. And the first conscious question is, what do I truly want my life to look like? Mm-hmm. What do I truly want my life to look like? And when you continue asking yourself that same question for 7 days, so you do your brain dump and you ask the same question, you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're peeling back the layers and peeling back the layers, and it's magical. And I started this program 2 weeks ago because I said to my clients at the first week of every month, we're going to get on and we're going to all journal together collectively, all of my clients. And I had people going, oh, I want to jump in. I'm like, okay, it's $111 a week. They're like, okay. And the shifts and the transformations that have happened in the last week and a half are phenomenal. So I've got evidence that this is the power. First thing in the morning, get your coffee, get your glass of water, get whatever you do. If it means that you have to get up 20 minutes before the kids wake up. I'm a single mom. I've got an 11-year-old. Oh, actually, she's 11 today. Yeah. It's her birthday. I've got the 11 balloons and we're having a big party today. Anyway, distraction. But get up before the kids. And my daughter knows that we don't speak to mum until 7 o'clock. That's been like that since she's been 5. We don't speak to mummy until 7 o'clock. You just do you until I've done my journaling, I've done my inner work, I've done the things that I need to do for me, because then I'm the best version of myself for the day.
Yeah.
And doing that, and like what you said before, it's not the things that we say, it's the actions that we take. And my daughter keeps telling me, by the time I'm 15, Mum, I'm going to be a millionaire. She's starting a cookie business. She has a meeting every 3 nights a week with her friends, and they're building a cookie business. And she's created her own website. She's created all of this stuff. And it's magical because she's watched me building what I'm building. And now she tells her friends, now, if you've got an emotion, if something's not feeling right, just get your journal out and journal. And I could not stop laughing. I'm like, oh my God, you're so cute.
See, she's listening to you. She's watching what you're doing with your clients, and now she's mimicking that because she looks up to you and admires you. And so, Alexis, thank you for sharing that. Talk to us about, real quick, about how people can find you and about your free offer.
So you can find me, I hang out mostly on Facebook and Instagram. So it's Alexis Jane on Facebook, and on Instagram, it's Alexis Jane underscore coach. They're the 2 places that I really hang out. And I'm offering today a 30-minute deep dive with me to really peel back the layers, to get clarity on what it is that you truly deeply want and what steps that you need to take. And it's a strategy call. There's no obligation. It is purely to help you. I had a call like this yesterday, and she called me straight after it, and she went, oh my God, everything shifted and changed on that call that I just helped somebody with. So I know how powerful it is to really deep dive. So that's how you can find me, and that's what I am offering for the listeners today.
Well, Alexis Jane, thank you so much. And Trina, Martin, you're both incredible women who have obviously been through a lot. And I think that's how we can all relate. There's this woven thread between women. You know, we're all struggling with the same stuff. So stop trying to compare yourself to what other people are doing. Focus within. And I remember Marie Forleo said this once, and I watched this little video and showed it to my group. And she said, if the spotlight is on you, then you have all these insecurities. You're paying too much attention here. But if the spotlight is on other people and the impact that you want to make, then you don't have all those insecurities. So stop comparing yourself and worrying about what other people think, and focus on what you're doing and why you're doing it, and the impact that you're making. So thank you, ladies, so much for being with us today. Thank you to Hello World for being our sponsor. And ladies, I just want to leave you with this one last thought. Remember, you're the only you that's ever been. You are the only you that's ever. Okay, that's never happened to me before. So I don't know where that one came from. You are the only you that has ever been, and you are the only you that will ever be. So how you navigate your future and how you get rid of these limiting beliefs, it's up to you. No one is coming. You must give yourself the permission today. And we pray that you do. So until next time, be you and be strong, and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye, ladies.
Bye. Thank you.